Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at EOS Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. I am in the cuffs today, man. Listen, I'm excited. I got my brother with me, and then, of course, we got a new brother as well because that brother is his brother. So, listen, that's the man that have wrote this book right here called Uncuffed. Listen, we gonna dive into a whole lot of conversation today. And he's going to talk about how he became free within and beyond the prison walls. We are talking to none other than the man himself, Mr. Vaugh Young.
Brethren.
Yes, sir.
Brethren.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Welcome to the show. And, of course, you know, we're not going to leave out Mr. Big Ready. Everybody know him as Mr. Big Ready, Mr. Bernard, you know. Sometime he co-hosts a show with me.
Yes. Always a pleasure, man. And every time we absolutely run the whole podcast before we even start the podcast.
This is true. This is true, bro.
We talk about so much stuff before we even. But I'm so excited to bring these two individuals together.
Oh, yeah. Man.
As I was talking to Vaughn earlier, man.
Yeah.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
It's just different authors telling the story.
Oh, yeah.
And we about to break it down and show people how much we all kind of relate.
Yeah, we have to.
Just in different times.
I think we owe that to the people, innit, man?
Absolutely.
Man.
So you said something powerful a couple of minutes ago, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As dudes, we have to do, overcompensate.
We do. Yeah.
Because if we don't, we're in trouble.
We in trouble, bro.
You know what I mean?
We're in trouble, man. We got a role, man. We got a role to play. We were put here to create.
Absolutely.
We were put here to create, and then once we do that, we gotta step into that responsibility role right there, where we gotta be the father.
Yeah, for sure.
The mentor, the coach, whatever that look like, you know. And I know, hey, we sit here, we doing that, you know, because I know my brother Bernard, he coached the youths in football sometime.
Listen, this is a tough guy, man. When I say stand firm, 10 toes down on what he believes.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
You've seen it.
Listen, I've called to say, bro, you sure?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. This is where I'm at.
Yeah,
so man. I respect any brother, and I know the work he does in the community. I know the work he does with not only just the kids. He's helping on every corner.
Yeah, man.
I seen him picking up paper.
Yeah, man.
Can you imagine?
Can
you imagine?
Listen.
Like, what you that took the jacket off and said, let's get this trash off the side of the road.
We ain't too good to do nothing, bro.
That's right.
We do whatever. So, you know, on the show, this is how we treat our listeners. We treat our listeners to the tales from the early years. So what we want you to do is take our listeners back to the early years. So, you know, who's Vaugh Young? You know, like where was you born? Where'd you grow up? What was that?
Well, I grew up I was born in Philly. I grew up in Miami.
Okay.
The young me, my mother, I was raised by my father because my mother had a mental health disorder.
Okay.
It was undiagnosed at the time.
Okay.
But history proved that she's had it way before I was born.
Right.
So my father and his mother didn't feel like she was capable of
being a mom. Okay.
Being a mom.
Okay.
And then when I was 3 years old, my father died.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna take you on a small journey.
Yeah.
And all I knew then at that point was my grandmother.
Okay.
Like me and her in the household. Grandma was an old school grandma, but I mean, she gonna cook every meal.
Yeah.
You know, that type of grandmother. She was gonna love you to death, but
right.
she was gonna tear that behind up when it was time to tear that behind up.
She gonna tighten you up.
Tighten up.
Gonna get you right. Yeah.
You know, in the island they say give you a cut ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I got a couple of those, right?
Yeah.
But no big deal. I remember the day that my father died.
Yeah.
And I told you I was 3.
Right.
The day that he died, me and him had some interaction, and he passed out on the floor. And when he passed out, I was like standing right there with him.
Yeah.
So, kind of not to tell too much of the book, you remember the story.
Yeah.
So, my grandmother, when the paramedics got there, my grandmother told me to go on the porch. I went on the porch.
Yeah.
But what she didn't realize is, from the way they took him out,
yeah,
they went past the porch, so I could see the fire truck or the paramedic truck going down the road, and the lights just cut off.
Man.
So I don't know what that means at that time. Of course, I don't know what that means. I'm thinking I'm gonna see him again.
Right.
Fast forward a little further, my father. I start elementary school. They take us on the field trip, and I'm good. We at the firehouse.
Yeah.
And when they cut the sirens on, I go berserk.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took me years and years to put those two pieces together.
Right.
But this is what happened.
Yeah.
The last memory I have of my father was my father going off in that.
Right.
In a fire truck.
Right.
And the trigger was hearing the
the
sounds,
alarm,
and seeing the flashing lights.
Yeah.
So you asked who was Vaugh Young. Early Vaugh Young was a kid that dealt with abandonment issues. Right. So my grandmother died when I was 8-ish.
Yeah.
And I was forced to live with my mother, someone that I knew of her, I didn't know her.
Right.
We never had that type of interaction. So when she would come to town or she would come to visit, it would be just that, a visit.
Oh, okay.
Right. When I was forced to live with her, this is her words, not mine. The only thing I told her was, listen, I don't love you.
Wow.
And you don't love me. This is just the situation that we have to be in. Right. Right. And it's crazy for an 8-year-old, 9-year-old son. A 9-year-old kid to say. But when I look back at it, the one man in my life that I loved the most, he died. Right.
Yeah.
The one woman who took care of me and nurtured me and did everything that she died. So I loved them. So if I was to love her, what was going to happen?
Right.
She was going to die. In my young
mind. Okay. I see what you. So you created something in your young mind. Mm-hmm. You didn't want to get rid of her.
I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. Even though we didn't have a relationship, she's still my old girl.
Well, yes, but you had to say words to make her feel like there ain't no love here.
And we didn't have a good relationship probably until I was in my mid-40s.
So stick a pin. So because of where you were at this time, the young Vaughn in school, because you got all these challenges that you're dealing with right now. What was that like in school, bro? Like how was your interactions in school?
Anger. I was a fighter. Physical. I don't mean a fighter, just fight through things. I mean physical. I dealt with things with my hands.
So you got in a lot of fights in school.
A lot of fights. Man. And it wasn't because of me. Because after you kick so much behind, the person who they don't want to fight you, but they'll pick on somebody who's with me or somebody, and then I'm always get out of the way, B.
Yeah.
Let's me and you get it.
Okay.
That type of stuff.
Wow.
I got in a lot of trouble behind it. One thing about it, school boards don't allow you to fight in during your time. So I got in a lot of trouble.
Man.
Ironically, I get into a situation. I can't remember what grade I was in, but you read about that too. I was arrested.
Yeah.
I was arrested by an officer.
Yeah.
The officer, I haven't had any contact with that officer since then.
Yeah. Wow.
I wrote about him.
Yeah.
Someone read the book and gave him my phone
and told him. Okay.
And told him about, how much, because I got to give him praise. I believe in giving the due of anybody their flowers while they're here. I didn't know he was dead or alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we talked for about an hour. He and I are going to do some things because he's a public speaker.
Okay.
But it's a blessing that, just because I remember, like, I always say I didn't have a mother. Right. But I had like several mothers that pieced together. Like I had a teacher that was crazy about me, and she would do anything she could to help me. Right. She knew I was out there hustling, so she would stop and say, "No, you don't have to do that. Right. I'll take you shopping." She ain't had no kids. Right. So I'll take you shopping. This is what you're doing it for? Yeah. If you hungry, I'll bring you food every day. Wow. You just stop. You did what I'm saying? Yeah. If that ain't a mother, then what? You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. So same thing with a father. Right. Dude did something for me that, like, so I'm gonna give you a brief one. Yeah. I get in trouble. They lock me up. The dude jumped on me. I beat his butt.
So how old were you at this time?
I was like in middle school, maybe 11, 12 years old, something like that. Yeah. They arrested me. Yeah. But the school wanted me arrested. Remember, I was known for fighting. Right. Because the school, not the officer. The officers, when I talked to him, he said, I don't remember it particularly, but I do remember the situation. Right. it was somebody did something to me, and I ended up on the front end.
Right.
On the victory side.
Yeah.
So they wanted to take me to jail. He
Right.
picks up the phone. He calls my mom at work. I don't know that he's called my mom.
Right.
My mom catch the bus to work.
Yeah.
And she work on Miami Beach.
Oh,
she got to get back. So he arrested me, put me in the car, and me and him riding around a 15-minute ride.
Yeah.
It took us an hour and 40 minutes to get there. So
Wow.
I'm in the car mad as hell. I'm hot. Like he trying me, he done stopped the Burger King. I mean McDonald's.
Oh,
got
he
him
hanging out.
Yeah, got him a sandwich. He eating his sandwich. He pull up on the block where the dudes at.
Oh yeah.
He waving at him, talking to
yeah.
him. People come
Oh,
to
yeah.
the car. I'm in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize is
He was waiting on your mom.
he was waiting on my mom because he didn't want me to go to the detention center.
Come on.
Right.
man.
So I gotta give dude that type of,
Oh
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
man.
Big ups.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I gotta give it to him.
Wow.
So,
You know, man, that's the crazy thing, bro. And I know a lot of youths are going through this right now. Like, people don't necessarily understand why this individual is angry, or that this is how you get out the frustration of whatever that is that you challenge with. I mean, because we work with a lot of those kids right now.
Right.
I mean, I have an organization. Most of my youths, this is the place they're in right now.
right. Mm-hmm.
So I get that, man. But it had to be challenging for you because, you know, you said something earlier about your mom having all these different things going on with her, that she probably still trying to figure out how to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what was that like, though, with your mom, like, pulling up, knowing that you just inconvenience her day at work? She got to get your bus.
Listen, I can't recall what it was like for her.
Yeah.
But once I figured out what it was, I know what it was like for me. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gratitude was towards
The-
the officer.
the officer,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
My
yeah,
gratitude was
yeah.
towards him. I'm quite sure I probably got a cut ass for that too. But I mean,
yeah.
if it was to happen to me, if
Right.
I was the parent, it'd probably be the same situation. You
Yeah.
dig? So it was. When I look back on it, because remember, I can only assess it as the adult remembering.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
So the assessment was somebody we're taught not to like the police.
Right. Yeah.
But there's officers out there that are really, they just like me and you.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to help.
Oh, yeah.
They want to help the community. That's why
Oh,
they
yeah.
took those positions,
Right,
those jobs.
right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I know that, and I know now in retrospect that he was one of those.
Yeah.
You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? So
You know, with you just laying this out to the listeners right now, man, and they're like, okay, so he got a book out, Uncuffed.
and most
What was running through your mind, bro? Just making a decision to name the book Uncuffed.
all right. So because I was incarcerated,
Yeah.
and the tag line how I became free
Right.
within and beyond prison walls.
Right.
People think that this is my journey from prison.
Right.
And it's not.
It's not.
Just some of the critical points in the book.
Right.
I actually learned some things to make
Right.
my life better, to
Better.
make me a better person.
Right.
While I was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the big picture is, a lot of us have never been incarcerated.
Right.
But we've been in prison our whole lives.
Right.
Right. So when we can change, we can change those things. We
Yeah.
can change the way we view things. We
Right.
can change the way that we see. Like if we can change our mindsets, we
Right.
see things different.
Right.
It's like I don't know how good or how bad. Like even if they're prescription glasses, right?
Right.
But if I put your glasses on and they're not for me,
Right.
right? You ever seen someone that like picked up a pair of glasses and put them on and like I can see clear.
Right.
So they thought they were seeing clear before, right?
Right. Now you
They
see
thought
clear.
now you need to go get a prescription of your own, right? And that's what this book is about. It's not just about. It's not a hood tale. It's not a. It's
Right.
more of a self-help book.
That's beautiful.
The publisher calls it a educational narrative.
I love
right?
that. I love that.
Because the only thing I could talk about to get those points across, I can only talk about. Luther Vandross said, I can only speak for the things that I've gone through. So
Right.
when it comes to our love,
Right.
I'll talk the whole night through.
Yeah,
Right? I
yeah.
can only speak for what I've gone through.
Right.
And hopefully you can get the message
Right.
of like the principle that's in there, because it's all embedded with principles.
Right.
It's all embedded with self-help ways to. I don't believe that anybody can motivate. I can't motivate you to do anything.
Right.
You can motivate yourself. Now
Right.
it may be something that you saw
Right.
that influenced you,
Yeah,
or heard that influenced you, but I can't because that means I would have to hold your hand and walk you through it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and this is why I'm excited to get you guys together because
definitely.
the story, you know, you can keep it on you. Don't even worry about that thing. The story, that thing's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about it. The story,
Yeah.
Everybody's stories it comes together.
Oh, definitely.
And a lot of people don't know that Cornell
Yeah.
had a situation too.
Oh, yeah.
And had to do a bid also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never had to do it, but
Yeah.
I was one situation, two situations, one
Right.
step away, one mistake
Right.
away from
getting
a
that.
situation
Yeah.
that y'all was put into.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And it's
right.
not just like you said, Uncuffed, a great, awesome book. Go check
Right.
it out right now.
Yeah.
It's not about being locked up
Right.
behind closed doors,
Right.
behind locked doors. It's about being locked out and locked in your
In the
brain
mind.
and not
Yeah,
transforming
yeah.
your thought
Yeah,
process.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
most of us never transition.
Right.
And
Right.
I talked about this before. You 30 plus, 40 some plus years old, and you've been learning all BS.
Yeah.
You've been trained all type
All-
of BS
all B-
from your from your father to your siblings,
Right.
uncles, the people in the street.
Yeah.
All BS.
Yeah.
And now you have a chance to transform your thinking.
Right.
You think that's gonna be a hard process or an easy process?
Oh man, listen, that's gonna be extremely hard.
You might as well put the cuffs on and go behind the locked
Hey,
doors.
let me show you something. You're right.
Because
you
you're
yeah,
forced
you-
now to
you-
transform.
You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
always say
Oh yeah.
it took you 30 plus years to become the person that you are now.
Right.
So that's just like going to church.
Yeah.
You go to church and you find the Lord. Hallelujah. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
saved. The Spirit
Right.
run through you, right?
Right.
When you walk out the church, them
Yeah.
30 plus years, 40 years, they still with you.
Oh, definitely.
Right? So
They
them
ain't going
same
nowhere.
vices you had,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that same way of thinking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, right. It's
They
the
ain't going
same
nowhere.
thing. So you have to gradually grow into those things. You
Oh, yeah.
can't just I'm a changed man. It doesn't
No,
work that way.
no.
Kevin
Never
Hart
worked like
call them monsters.
Yeah.
You got monsters.
You got
That's what they are.
monsters.
Yeah.
They are. And some of us keep those monsters in our back
Oh
pocket.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
They don't go anywhere.
They
They
know
still
when
there.
to pull up. They know when to pull up, bruh.
Listen. But watch this. The flip side of that is sometimes those things are valuable too.
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely.
You can't
Those
get rid of
things are
them.
valuable.
Definitely.
I have a partner. He's a Muslim. His name is Minister Greg X. Shout
Yeah.
out Greg X over
Yeah.
in Miami.
Yeah.
He did a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I would pick up the phone and I'll call him.
Yeah.
I'll say, because I knew him before.
Right.
His name was Wild Boy in the streets,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So just imagine whatever Wild Boy is, that's what he was.
Yeah.
So dig it. I call him, I say, am I speaking to the minister or am I speaking to the Wild Boy?
Yeah.
He says, you're currently speaking to the minister, but please believe if you scratch the surface, the Wild Boy will appear. Right?
Absolutely.
Because it's a need. Because every day
Yeah.
I'm working to be
Yeah.
the minister.
The minister. Yeah.
But boy, if you get me
Oh
twisted,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wild Boy gotta show
Wild
up.
Boy
He
gonna
has
pull
to
up.
show
Oh
up.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's a part of the personality.
Absolutely.
The cat. You know, I was telling people to never underestimate product of an environment. Product of an environment, and a lot of individuals never understood. Youths that grew up in certain areas, once they become a product of the environment, bruh, it takes some solid teacher that's persistent, really want that individual to change. That's gonna
Absolutely.
really bring change to that individual. It's gonna be hard.
That's the motivation when you in those type of fields, when you working with kids,
Yeah.
when you're an educator, when you're a mentor.
Yeah.
These stories that you're hearing, it took several different people to not give up.
Right.
I mean, it took me, and I've been in the field quite some time now. Me reading Uncuffed,
Right.
it helped me realize that nobody should be thrown away.
Right. Nobody.
You know what? Because they're going to,
No.
one day, they are going to get to a point where they want to transform, and you know who they're going to look back on and say, he helped me out. He didn't give up on me.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, she helped me out. She didn't
Yeah.
give up on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you a piece of BS right now. You a
Right.
piece
Right.
of, stop
Yeah.
talking to me. Don't look at me.
Right.
Type to these kids now.
Right.
But eventually, when they get in control of those monsters,
Oh yeah.
they writing books about you.
Oh yeah, man. Oh,
Or the flip side is,
yeah.
dog, Mr. Bernard gave up on me
Yeah.
Because I can see now that I was valuable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He gave up on me.
Yeah.
Right? Who wants that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to see the fruits of your labor, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you put that time in and you helping people.
Oh yeah.
And they really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Not the fact they appreciate it. We don't do it for the appreciation.
Right.
But they actually understand that you see more than they see in themselves. Right. There's a book. I can't remember the author. The title is if you can pick it up. It's called Greater Than Thyself. Right. And what it's saying is, like, every mentor, their goal should be able to is not to create followers. Right. It's to create other leaders. Right. And you want those leaders to be even in real estate. Right.
Oh,
even in real estate. Oh, you want the person that you're mentoring to surpass you.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that's a part of your story as well.
You know, bro, you just tap into something that I think we do have leaders have an issue with doing that. There ain't nothing to it. I'm gonna tell you, because I've met individuals that they wanted to come in and say they're gonna mentor me, but they don't want me to surpass what they got going on.
Your job, the 9 to 5 you go to every day, don't want you to surpass them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, man, the reality of it is not everybody is meant to lead, and not everyone was put here to do certain things. Some of us are put here to really help those individuals that have identified what that purpose is, to help them make that happen the way it's supposed to happen. But there is a lot of those individuals that they fall into that I don't want to say trap or whatever that is, but they fall into that situation where
it's a trap. It goes back to what you was talking about with the environment.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily blame them.
Right.
Because you see us on the camera. We 3 black men, right?
Yeah.
So our environment taught us the dog eat dog world. You know, you better defend yourself. You better come up on top. You better be better than that person next to you.
Right.
And that hurts when you become a leader or you have people looking up to you.
Right.
Because in actuality, there's competition. You can have competition, but you can also lead without trying to compete all the time.
Oh, definitely.
Here's the thing. We played sports. We played football.
Yeah.
We've done those things. Even does the offensive lineman get the glory?
No.
The running back gets it. The quarterback gets it. Right. But the offensive lineman is just ecstatic about the accomplishment. Right. And guess what you see if you watch the next football game? When the running back grows up the hole and he runs into the end zone, one of the first people he celebrates with is his offensive lineman.
Oh,
because without you,
it ain't gonna happen.
Without you doing your job, I couldn't be great.
You gotta make them blocks.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep those small things in mind, like not just running backs or quarterbacks or wide receivers are in the Hall of Fame, right?
Right.
You got Hall of Fame linemen, right?
Oh,
Hall of Fame centers.
Oh, definitely.
Right, because so that's what we have to look at.
Right.
I want everybody to win.
Oh yeah,
you know
and everybody win.
And what you were saying about leaders, here's the thing. I think that we're all 3 leaders.
Oh, definitely.
Just for the fact I was invited into the room.
Yeah.
Right. You know you don't get invited to a lot of people's table.
Right.
I appreciate you. Right.
Definitely.
But
bro.
watch this. But your leadership may be in this sphere of influence. Right. Which means me and Bruh gonna do what we need to do to help you in your sphere of influence. Right. And mine may be in another sphere of influence. Right.
There you go. Yeah.
We're all leaders.
Oh yeah.
We're all leaders. Right.
Oh yeah.
And the Bible says, "In a man's gifts should make." So gifts is the strength. Right. Your strength and my strength, and they're not gonna be the same.
Never.
Them people on the other side of that glass.
Nope.
I couldn't do what they wanted.
No.
If they showed me the computer screen, it'd look like Chinese. Right. But them
in a different language.
That's their language.
Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we have to keep those things in mind. Everybody's not equally yoked.
Right. Now, you know, because we're dropping a whole lot of gems for you guys, and you guys are welcome. In the midst of you having a lot of these different challenges in school, did you ever get a chance to get into sports? What was the activities you got into that you was just getting away from what was going on, and this was fun for me?
Well, that was football and basketball for me.
Okay.
It was both. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't keep the grades in high school football.
Right.
So what I would do is I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade, the 10th grade, and the 11th grade.
Wow.
I dropped out. And then what I would do is I would go back, make sure that my GPA was high enough for me to
get into sport.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a coach that wouldn't let me. I made the team.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play until my grades got to a certain part, but I made the team.
Right.
He and I reconnected a couple years ago, and it's just an awesome thing because he has a company called Tournament of Champions.
Right.
And when he created it, I was one of the first kids, not knowing I was one of his first mentees in that program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now we work together closely when we do the trunk. That's Wesley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley was my basketball coach. In fact, Wesley's birthday was yesterday.
That's beautiful.
And I sometimes I forget my own kids' birthday, right? But that's my dog. So, you know, because I respect him. I over-respect him.
Yeah.
But it kept me from doing a lot of foolish things.
Yeah.
Just going to practice and being committed to going to practice, even though I know I wasn't going to play. Right. Who does that?
Right.
Because I wanted to do something different anyway. I just didn't know how to.
Right.
You know.
Now, in the midst of all of that stuff going on, when did fatherhood happen?
Well, I had my first kid was 14.
Okay.
I come to find out later that it wasn't my kid, but the relationship, the bond is still, she still one. So you'll hear me say I have 3 kids. In reality, I have 4.
Okay.
And I was hands on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a baby from an older woman. And I want to say I didn't find out until my baby was 8 years old that I wasn't her father.
Wow.
So the mom was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" I'm like, do what I've been doing.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted more than anything was to be a father, right? Because the thing that I lacked the most, and I realized it at a very, very young age, was a father.
Yeah.
Right. I taught myself how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I taught myself how to throw and catch a football.
Right.
I taught myself how to shoot a basketball. I did those things, right? But I watch TV, and it's always a father.
Yeah. You know, man, you touch on this so gracefully, brother, and I know people be like, yo, are we not going to just address a few things? First of all, guys, I just want you guys to know, and you know, I see they do a lot of shows where they try to shame these women for whatever situation happened. Hey, we understand. Everyone has needs, things happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't know, you're not sure, you know what I'm saying? But you got someone that you really care about, and you're hoping that's that person, and then, you know, it just happened that it ain't that person.
Right.
But there's lessons to learn in that, and what that look like, and, you know, and you know, for all you ladies out there, man, that have felt shame on, you know, certain things that have happened, man, hey, man, I want to apologize for a lot of those individuals that have put you guys in that situation.
It sounds like you're speaking from experience.
No.
Who are you apologizing to? That's what I want to know. Hey, ladies, you better listen to this this podcast. He just apologized to whoever he done hurt. Man.
To all of y'all. All of y'all.
Yeah.
Not just
He ain't never apologized in his life. This Negro, man.
No, for real though, bro. I've been seeing
that just came from the heart, man. I'm proud of you,
for
man.
real, bro.
But I think in my relationship, I really believe that in my relationship with my daughter, and she understood, like her kids are my grandkids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her mom. I think our relationship became stronger, not in an intimate way, in a way where, man, this is my dog.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying?
Because you held her down. You held her down, bro.
Yeah.
In a time, and I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times. And people be like, you know, bro, they got shows that be doing this, and these women be running out the room crying and all this stuff. Like, what you crying for?
I mean, I think some of them shows they made their millions and billions off of those shows. You know what I'm saying? Exposing those little things.
But you know, man, the reality of, you know, a lot of this, man, we don't sometimes really give credit where credit's due, bro. You know what I'm saying? The people that have really stepped up and have been graceful. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing, man.
But you know, I always hear this about from the kids.
Yeah.
My stepdad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't even know how much a blessing you have just to have a stepdad, one that cares.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if things would have been hunky dory, you would have had your dad.
Oh, it'd be rough.
Right?
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, I seen some shirts that said, it didn't say stepdad, it said a bonus dad or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm not a stepdad. I'm a dad that stepped up. Right.
Right.
Man, that's powerful.
Oh yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I double salute.
Yeah.
I double salute everybody that had to
yeah.
go through those situations.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On both sides, the child and the
Now, what's the longest you had to do when you were in incarceration?
Well, I caught 60 months and I did 57 off of 60.
Wow.
Because for various reasons.
Yeah.
Remember, when I went in, I was angry.
Yeah.
I was really, really angry. So,
right.
And I had never been locked up at that capacity, right? Meaning, I get jammed up.
Yeah.
I call the bondsman or the bonds, somebody who's with me. They know to call the bondsman. By the time I get to the jail, I get out. I fight the case from the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't I never really spent no time in jail.
Right.
But when I got in this time, so I got a drug charge, but no drugs were
found.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So
I had so many questions, man. That was, about the book.
Yeah.
Because as a black man, you get caught. There was no, it wasn't in a book. It was no evidence or anything like that. You take all the right precautions. They banging at your door, and just gave the kids trauma.
Yeah.
And you still did almost 5 years. Like, how does that even happen?
So they have this. We hear about it all the time. Conspiracy, right?
Right.
That's when they can prove that you had insight on criminal activities and you didn't alert them.
I see.
Right.
But if you had money and you paid for a lawyer, you would have easily probably got off.
No, if I would have caught my case in Miami, I would have took it to trial. I would have took it, but I was in a foreign land, right?
Okay.
And it just made sense. My kids were my babies were 2 and 3 years old, right?
Okay.
So in my mind, if I do 5, 8, 7, I can rebuild. You
Right. Because they still be at a young age.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I take it to trial here and they give me 20, then what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is when they arrested me, they showed me what my charge carried.
Right.
It said 5 to 40.
Wow.
Right. 40.
Yeah.
What you talking about? I ain't never did six weeks in the jailhouse.
Yeah.
So I hired an attorney and he advised me that there were so many people on my case that if I was to go to trial, chances were I was going to lose.
So they're meaning like there were CIs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them too. It was like 22 of them, and I only knew 2 of them.
Wow.
Like I only really knew 2 of them. Like I never. So I dealt with those 2, and those 2 dealt with the 20.
Wow.
And all of those guys were coming back to.
Yeah. See, man, this that's dropping right now. This gems for a lot of these dudes that's out here hustling. Don't even know a lot of these homeboys you got around your hand saying they're homeboy. They could be CI.
Oh no, they gonna snitch. If it's them or you, they gonna snitch. What?
Yeah. They
gonna tell on you. They gonna tell on you. And then guess what they gonna do next?
Yeah.
Go after your baby mama.
Come on, man. Man, I've been hearing that so much, bro. Like it's almost all of them guys that happen to bro.
And they're in the same circle. They eat, sleep, and crap together.
Yeah, so and I'm sure you know this story. So the Nicky Barnes story, and you hear like, why did he snitch? And then you find out, the dude was banging his chick and he was all mad about it, and
you had to find a way to sleep at night.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is. because you knew going in what you was, you know, like
Right.
like for me, when I went in, I stopped praying for me,
Right.
right? Because no matter what, I knew what I had engaged in,
Right.
and I wasn't praying
Yeah.
when I was engaging. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just felt like more than anything, it's time for me to just lay down.
Yeah.
I done got away with a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you need to relax for a little bit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Just
Think
relax.
about it.
And if I hadn't done that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
That's
You know what I mean?
beautiful.
I've done some powerful things for a dude that's been incarcerated.
Yeah.
Like I actually, after incarceration, I worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
who does
Yeah.
that?
Who
You know
does?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you make that happen?
Right,
Only
right,
by the
right.
only by the grace of God. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man.
Can we talk about that though?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that journey. You getting out and you absolutely try your best to be a different person.
Yeah.
Try your best to transform. Try your best to get a job to help the individuals that were like you, and you denied. Because a lot of the youth today, they get one denial and they going back to what they know.
Right.
I mean, not even just the youth, man. Adults. You get denied for a business, and you go back to working the 9 to 5, and you don't push through. You don't persevere. But can you talk about that journey of, no, we don't want you working for us because you got a criminal background.
Right.
Well, I can say this. When I was going through it, I saw my mother in me. What I mean by that is, remember I told you she had a mental health issue.
Right.
I sunk into the couch.
Yeah.
Like I was depressed as heck. Like,
Yeah.
and depression is real.
Right. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And what a lot of us won't admit to is, like, it's not easy. Especially, it's not easy from, forget the incarceration part.
Right.
It's not easy being in a position where you just keep hearing no. Right. You've done all the things, even on the business aspect. You've done everything. You've dotted the I's, crossed the T's. You've invested money and things of that sort, and it's not working out.
Right.
That's depressing.
Right.
Right. Because in your mind, you don't see the not working out.
Right.
You see the picture as it is complete.
Right.
Right. You see all of every brush stroke.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't see. Well, when you picked up the brush this time, it was broken.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or those colors didn't blend. You don't see that. It gets depressing because all you can see is the finished product in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't sleeping in the bed with my wife. Like, I was sleeping on the couch.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There was days where I just couldn't get up. I didn't have, like, and then one day I just woke up and said, "What the hell are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, like, if you don't know nothing else, you know how to get money.
Right.
You know how to bounce back from that.
Right.
So what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So in the book is a story about me taking a class in prison. So in my mind, what I thought I was going to do was, because I went to federal prison, I was going to go and earn a degree, right? Because there used to be where inmates could earn a degree on the government's dime.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that would have been my route, right? Because no matter what, don't get it twisted. I was always I could always read.
Yeah.
You know, I could always articulate myself very well.
Right.
And that wasn't my issue. My issue was I was so caught up in the streets that school wasn't important.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? But I took a class in prison, and the inmate held the class.
Okay.
An inmate that was there for money, tax evasion. He was there for the tax evasion.
Okay.
And he was jammed up because his accounting people did something that they weren't supposed to do. So he wasn't a criminal type stuff. But anyway, he has the class, and I walk in. As we sit down, he says, "How many of you guys are here for drugs?"
Right.
And nobody raised their hand except me.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But so he explains, "Listen, I'm not here to find out information about your case. I don't give a damn about your case. Right. I'm still making X amount of dollars while I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So his point was, if you're here for drugs, you've already, to some degree, ran a successful business. Now you just have to understand what the business looks like, because you're already doing the steps.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying all of that to go back to this. we know what it is that we want to do.
Right.
We just didn't know that sometimes we didn't know what we're already doing, right? I've taken a loss on the street. I've taken a loss with some sack.
Well, yeah.
And the sack wasn't right, and it couldn't do whatever it was it was supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And I try to, get my refund. Ain't no refunds.
Yeah, no, it
They
don't
charge
work
it to
like
the
that.
game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it don't
But you
work
bounce
like
back,
that.
right?
Yeah.
You get back to it. You don't just say, "Oh, woe is me." It's never like the world is gonna crumble.
Right.
Because if the world crumbles, like sitting on the couch wasn't gonna make nothing change for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Sitting on the couch wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. I ended up having a couple dollars. I ended up buying some supplies and some equipment to be an auto detailer. Right?
Okay.
I didn't want to just wash cars because that's nothing.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an auto detailer.
Auto detailer.
Right?
Okay.
I had at that time. I don't think I washed 4 cars in my life.
Oh,
I don't think I had washed my own car 4 times.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I knew that it wasn't rocket science.
Right.
I could figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
then once I got up off my behind,
Yeah.
and got out of my own way mentally,
Yeah.
a door opened up.
Right.
Just like that.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Just open up. I'm having a collict.
Okay.
From over at a little restaurant, and the restaurant is jumping all day, and they got a huge parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the owner. Don't know. I'm talking to the owner. I'm like, they need a car wash up here. He was like, yeah, man, I've been looking for some.
Yeah. Wow.
You've been looking for some. Man, give me a couple days, man.
Yeah.
Give me a few days. Where I can set up at right here. How much you gonna charge me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Type
And
stuff.
you got that done.
And that's all it was.
Wow.
You dig what I'm saying? So
yeah. I like that.
Being in a place of like rebuilding is always gonna be. It's not easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It wasn't easy for you to build,
right?
Let alone rebuild.
Yeah,
to become big smooth. I'm talking about. It takes work.
Yeah.
Right. So
every day I wake up, I gotta do my hair.
You hear me?
I like that.
So watch this.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys, right?
Yeah.
You know,
podcast.
Yeah. And you know the one thing he said that it had me on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
Man, don't let me come on your show and take over your show, man.
It's me.
Don't let me do that, man. It's me, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
don't
I
let
love
me
it.
Take over your show, man.
Oh yeah, man. I love that, man. That's my brother, man. So it's a beautiful thing. So you worked for the government for a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I guess you would call it the government for a state entity. So
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, there was something that you did, but you didn't care to be in it for too long.
No, I'm glad I didn't stay in it too long because I didn't want to get sucked into their to like. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to help people without. I don't need no regulations and limitations
Right,
over me
right.
on what I can and cannot do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
moving away was I actually worked right here in Fort Myers.
Okay.
Right near the jail, they had a juvenile correctional.
Yeah. Over there, RT's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I actually worked there for a minute.
Okay.
For a good minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much that I've done. Like, I look at myself and people ask me, how did you become successful? I don't consider myself successful. What I consider myself is I'm letting nature take its course. You dig what I'm saying? Like I'm putting myself in the right position, in the right places at the right time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same things I did in the streets. There's nothing changed about that, right?
Right.
I always want to add value wherever I go.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So if we're at a big function and somebody drops a napkin on the ground, I'm not gonna leave the napkin on the ground if I can help it, right? Because I want to leave that building in a better position.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because somebody's gonna see it. Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, he picked up that napkin that was on the ground."
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
So, as we're educating a lot of our listeners right now and everyone that's watching, because if this has been a thing now, been coming out recently, and people feel like once they start getting that bread, there's certain brands they gotta wear. I want you to kind of speak on that a little bit because a lot of people been trying to help a lot of individuals understand that ain't it. But
all right, so do you know a pair of the same jeans that Amiri, the same place where they make Amiri jeans is the same place that they make Walmart jeans? The denim company is the denim company.
Look at that.
It's no difference.
Ain't
You
no
dig what I'm saying?
difference to it, yeah.
That's just like buying sheets, right? You got 400 count thread sheets,
Right.
and you got 1,500 count threads.
Right.
It's still, they made it at the same place, at the
Right.
same factories.
Right,
You dig what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
None of that. I've gone to the thrift store and and for years, that was my shopping spot.
Yeah.
I go from this thrift store to that thrift store to this thrift store.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna never look bad at nothing I do.
Oh,
You dig what I'm
no,
saying? It's
no,
not important.
No.
It's not important. My guy told me one time, the suit didn't make me.
Right.
I made the suit.
You made the suit.
You dig what I'm saying?
That's it. That's it.
That's something this dude to say right
Yeah.
here. It don't make a difference.
Now because while we're in this frame, because I'm a big fan of some of that, the drug stuff and all that. Not encourage anyone to go do that stuff, but if you was to put yourself in a situation, if you put yourself in one of these individuals' shoes, Frank Lucas, Nicky Barnes.
I think Frank Lucas.
Okay.
Hold on, let me ask the question.
Yeah.
Do you mean if I had who do I relate to?
Who would you portray? Yeah.
I would be Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because Frank Lucas started through, right? It took a mastermind to do that.
That's true.
It took
That
a
is
mastermind.
true. That is true.
Anybody can buy dope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And resell it. Anybody can sell dope because at a certain point, all you got to do is, if they know you can sell it, it's
Yeah.
gonna get dropped off to you.
Right.
But to go get it yourself, to cut all the other people out,
Yeah.
to go get it yourself, that's why he was such a threat.
Yeah.
And we all would have got caught the same way because
yeah.
once you start getting that money, once you start feeling invincible,
Yeah.
you kind of show up
Yeah.
different than a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
So when he showed up,
Yeah.
they said, we got this, man. That's who he got to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think all of us would have showed up
Yeah.
different because you are a different person.
Right.
Oh, for
right.
sure.
You the man in the streets. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I'm putting on my chinchilla.
Yeah.
I'm putting on my nice stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not
I work
really
for
on
it.
Yeah.
It's not really on purpose,
Right.
but you gonna stand out from
Oh,
other
yeah.
people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's where, if I get the story right, that's where he kind of got put
That's-
on alarm,
yeah,
on
yeah.
alert. Like, yeah, that's him.
I mean, either way, if you went from making $15 an hour,
Yeah.
let's simplify it to $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the same store and buy the same. To the same shoe store to
Right.
buy your shoes there, right?
Right.
But you ain't used to go over there
Right.
where they had them $400 sneakers.
Right.
You ain't go over there because that wasn't your price range.
No.
You
yeah.
got the best that you could get within your means.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But now you can afford it.
Right.
Oh, you definitely gonna do that.
Absolutely.
Get what they gonna get when you walk back in the same neighborhood that you was, they gonna say, "Boy, I see you, boy. Boy, you looking good, boy." Mm-hmm.
You pulling up.
Look, the whole time he looking at you.
Yeah.
Not only is he checking out the shoes, he's trying to see. Damn, this nigga got on a new watch too. Excuse me, I ain't mean to use that word, but you know.
Okay.
He got a new watch on.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's what it is, right?
We get it.
That's if you were standing in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
And you went from making $60,000 a year
Right.
to making $150,000 a year.
Right.
Aren't you gonna upgrade?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
If you were driving a beater,
Yeah.
weren't you gonna upgrade?
You gonna
Even
upgrade.
if it's you only get a new Toyota,
Yeah.
right? You gonna get something reliable.
Right.
Let me talk about this though.
Yeah.
Everything you saying is true.
Yeah.
Me and Cornell was talking about before you got here.
Yeah.
You absolutely upgrade
Yeah.
everything around you, the material stuff, the housing, the car, your mindset.
Right.
But you know where we fail at?
Yeah.
We don't upgrade our circles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
You don't upgrade your circles.
do it.
have
You
to.
start upgrading the reason you start upgrading your circles
Yeah.
because the people you've been dealing with,
They don't think like you.
Yeah.
but they start saying you different.
Yeah.
You think you this, you think you that.
Yeah.
They start basically turning on you.
Right.
When you like, I'm just making myself better.
Right.
Right. You're right.
And then you start realizing, I
They ain't
gotta
my
change
circle.
my circle.
They not
Oh,
my
you-
circle. Right.
And we talk about family members, friends,
Yeah.
siblings, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it might start right there where you started at family members.
Oh yeah.
Siblings. It might
yeah.
start in that little spot right
It
there.
has
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, bro. You
Yeah.
just now it's limited.
Yeah.
It's limit now to what you do with those individuals. That's how I do. You know, I mean, some of the people are still there, but they're at a level now. Where,
The
you
love
know,
doesn't
it's-
change.
No,
The
no.
love
Love don't change.
The love
but, you
doesn't
know,
change.
We moving different now.
We move different.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's just And you know, I gotta say this for a lot of individuals that are not necessarily understanding the concept of upgrading, because you know they say, well, you know, you started with this woman, but how do you upgrade to another woman? You don't need to upgrade to another woman. That woman need to upgrade. Yeah. She need to upgrade herself. Yeah. Start, you know, doing things different. You know, start eating healthy. Start doing things.
Cornell, they just need to understand that you need multiple wives, bro. That's exactly what it is. There you go. Bring Jamaica over to America. That's all you saying, man. Like, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Hey, man, and I'm not here.
You got the funds.
And I'm not here to knock you, big bro.
We got the funds to do it.
We don't know what Bernard is talking about, people.
Man, if you want to be the next Nick Cannon, do your thing, bro. Like, just ladies.
Yeah.
Sign up. He got a list.
So, you know, man, definitely, I want you to tell everyone how they can find the Uncuffed.
Right now,
yeah.
So I didn't go. Let me explain why. Yeah. I didn't go to Amazon, which is the typical way of finding it. The reason I didn't go to Amazon is because Amazon charges so much.
Right.
I made sure that this book was reasonably priced.
Right.
And it cost me to get them printed. Right.
Okay.
So if I pay for the printing and then I pay Amazon.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
So if you can reach out, Brother Bernard, you can reach out.
Yeah.
To the main man, like to the brethren.
Yeah.
Find me on social media.
Yeah.
My name is Vaugh Young on Facebook. The Manhood Empowerment Coach on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a TikTok, but I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And I'll send you an order form where you can order the book. It's beautiful. Not only wait, hold on. Turn the camera so the man can talk. Yeah. Because if I say it myself, you would think. Like, so I remember buying people's CDs.
Yeah.
Like, and like you pull up to the gas station, like, man, I got a hot one. What is that, right? $5, right?
Yeah.
I pay the $5. I get it in my car, take whatever I'm listening to off, right? Put it in the window, and by the end of the first song, I'm taking it out to frisbee it, right?
Right.
But he had a hot song in his mind.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you that this is a good book. This is all right, Bernard.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
You open it up. Yeah. I was excited to read it because the personal relationship I had with Vaughn.
Yeah.
So that got me to order the book early and also read the book.
Yeah.
But when I started reading it, it related to my life in a different way.
Yeah.
And like I talk about, it was one mistake away. Yeah. It was, one mishap away from this being my story,
right?
Or it even being super more similar than what it was already,
right?
A lot of people don't know my father murdered someone,
right?
And he only did a day in jail,
right?
But for that, if that would have changed something,
right?
That would have changed the trajectory of my life.
Who you were,
if he wasn't around, and I had to be raised by my grandmother, my mother, things like that. So you're seeing a different person. But again, our stories are so much alike, man.
Oh, definitely.
And then once he talk about transforming your mind, it's not about the closed doors in a prison cell.
Right.
It's about the closed doors that you got in your mind. And I mean, all the podcasts that I'm on or who I'm talking about transforming your thinking.
Yeah.
The rich dad, the poor dad.
Right.
Which father are you being informed by?
Right.
All our life we've been informed by the poor dad.
Yeah.
And he survived, You were in survival mode.
Yeah.
But now you need to get information from the rich dad.
Right.
Because now you got to change your circles.
Oh, man.
You got to move different.
Man, listen.
And it's just, it's something that we all wanted to do more when we were younger, when we was in our 20s. It's something more to life.
Oh, yeah.
It's something else going on that I need to reach. I need to get it. I need to push forward to it. Yeah. What is it? How do I do it?
Right. Man.
And then set you up for it. Now I got to start listening to my rich dad.
Man, listen, bro. I wish we had more time, man. We ain't got a whole lot of time. But I'm telling you guys, listen, so Sir Vaughn, because you know we got to give you the last word. Take the listeners out, man. What would you tell them, man, you know, knowing that you have titled this book Uncuffed, what that look like? Because we've been trying to help individual understand.
All right, so the biggest, what's up, Chuck?
Yeah.
The biggest battle we fight is in ourselves, right? The battlefield is in our minds, right? And if we can see things different than we saw before, and assess those things in a way that's beneficial not just to us, but to our communities. Well, back up to our families, right? Our lineage, and then our families. We can start to change. That's how you change the world. See, we have this idea that we change the world by just going out there and doing something. It starts at home. It starts. It starts to reevaluate you as an individual. Right. There's a guy on this live right here. He used to try to bully me. When I got to Florida Memorial. He used to try to bully me. Right. Guess what? We learned about each other. We learned that we were the same. We were the same people. Right. He wasn't gonna get bullied. I wasn't gonna get bullied. So guess what? Two bullies did. We got together. Team up. That's my guy. Right. So I would leave anybody with this. There's more to us. We were created with a purpose, on purpose. We were not mistakes, right? We were not mistakes. When your mom and your daddy laid down, whether they were a couple or not, you weren't the mistake. Right? God created us with a purpose. Man, our goal is to find our purpose and live in that spirit of influence.
Hey man, listen. He dropped the mic. I'm gonna tell you guys this, and I just want to piggyback on what you said right there. Understand, when a guy and a woman go together and they do the bang bang, and them little things go running, whatever make it to that ovary and that locked in, understand, you won that race right there. You running with millions out of little sperms over there. You won that. You a winner. You a winner. Listen, man, and with that, man, you know, we got to take it out with my brother right here, Mr. Taurus Riley. Hey, big bro.
Salute.
My guy. Hey, man. Sir Bernard.
Yeah, man. I'm happy this happened, dog.
Hey, listen, man, this was beautiful, man. It's always a joy. Listen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Right here in the Ass Club. Until next time, when we have another decorative guest, just like our guest today. Thank you.
That's my guy.
That was beautiful,
That's
man.
my guy.
Yeah, man. That was beautiful.
Hey, Chuck, I was talking about you.